I'm Nick DiMatteo, and welcome to Music is Not a Genre, the interview edition. With me today, my guest is Rich Berta. He is a musician, writer, and performer on That New Life, and many other things, as I know. The new album that's out everywhere is That New Life, which we're going to be talking a lot about later on. Rich, how are you today?
I'm fine, Nick. Thanks for having me on.
You're welcome. Yeah, it's good to have you. I'm, constantly impressed by your level of musicianship in everything that you do, but particularly with the guitars and the vocals. And what I'd like to know, and what I think the people listening at home, the audience, would like to know is a little bit about you, your story. Can you tell people where you come from, where all this music comes from?
The music, hard to say where it comes from. I mean, we had a piano growing up in the house. I'm the youngest of four boys, and I guess no one else really used it. So I guess they had to justify having the thing. So they made me take piano lessons. And I say they made. I enjoyed it. No, I didn't. I didn't fight it. I don't know for how much I didn't love it. I was probably about 9 years old, but I did. I didn't hate it. That's good. I didn't hate it. I stuck with it. I maybe didn't always do what I was supposed to do for the lesson, but at least I was sitting at the piano constantly. And I guess that was probably pretty important. And then for me, when I think I guess officially in ninth grade, I got a guitar because that I really wanted to do, and that I became obsessed with that. So that, like, nobody was making me do that. I sought that out, and I loved it right away. I couldn't wait to see how all this music I was listening to, how does that come out of that instrument, and that was all my desire to do that at the time. So I guess that's the beginning right there. Yeah.
Yeah, and so what was the music you were listening to that got you, intrigued enough to want to pick up a guitar and figure it out?
Early on, I know Metallica was a big thing for me at the time. I guess all my brothers, but especially the one, like I said, I'm the youngest of four. The next one up was kind of a metalhead, and I'd hear this great noise coming out of his room all day, and I'd like kind of borrow the tapes from him and listen in there when he wasn't in there. Like, God damn, how could that be a guitar? I'd see a picture of a guy holding a guitar. Like, how the hell could that come out of that? And I eventually I would slowly find out how. But that band comes to mind right away. I was into the Red Hot Chili Peppers back then. Those are two, as far as guitar goes, those are two bands that I was really into before I even had a guitar. I was like, oh, this sounds great to me. I'd love to know how that happens. Before that, I didn't really have many albums when I was a kid. I mean, I listened to whatever was on around the house. Like, well, it was hard not to hear that metal blaring out. And I was a big Nintendo guy, as I guess most people my age were around that time. And I know it might sound dinky, but I got even into that music. I guess if you're playing those games long enough, you sit there and you hear that music over and over. It has to get in your head. Just to be clear, I don't think. I mean, I guess if anyone watching this listens to that album that came out last year, they're like, oh, what the hell is he talking about? It doesn't sound like Metallica. It doesn't sound like Nintendo. Like, I want to return this thing. I didn't hear one Nintendo song on there. I don't know if it's seeping in